Once upon a time, there lived a boy and a girl who were neighbors. They grew up as close companions, assisting each other with their family's chores. From dawn till dusk, they played, ate, and worked together. They stayed at home together and ventured to the fields and forests together. This companionship persisted through adolescence and adulthood. Their parents admired their bond of love and friendship. When the time came for marriage, the boy's parents proposed a girl to him, but he was not interested. Similarly, the girl's parents proposed a boy to her, but she was not interested either. Seeing their inclination, the parents suggested that they marry each other, to which they readily agreed. Within a year of marriage, the wife passed away. The husband was overwhelmed with grief and sorrow at the loss of his beloved friend and wife. He wandered aimlessly, eventually reaching the boundary between the living and the dead. There, he encountered a wise old man. The old man inquired, "Young man, what brings you here?" The husband replied, "Oh, wise one, I am weary of this world. My wife was my dearest companion. We grew up together, sharing every moment. But now, she is gone, leaving me lonely and heartbroken." The old man consoled him, saying, "Do not despair." He then asked, "Have any other deaths occurred since your wife's passing?" The husband replied, "No, not yet." The old man responded, "In that case, we may still find your wife." The young husband was very eager, so he inquired, "How will I find her?" The grand old man advised, "When you go down to earth, offer a libation to God, blow wine on the right side of the road, and on the left side of the road, and also a pinch of rice on the side of the road. There will be a lot of dead people noisily passing through that way, and your wife will be the last. She will be walking carrying a basket, and her eyes will be filled with tears." The young husband agreed, and he went back to the earth. He blew a little wine on both sides of the road and placed a pinch of rice on the road. Then the dead in large numbers came shouting, "Smells like the living are around," and they all sped away. Then he also saw his wife coming. He was so touched at the sight of his wife that before she could reach the place where the rice was laid, he went and embraced her, but he found only a piece of wood. He felt so cheated and lost that he ran back to the grand old man saying, "Grandpa, I desired so much for my beloved wife, and so before she could reach the place of libation, I ran and caught her, but I lost her and caught only a piece of wood." The grand old man rebuked him, saying, "Why did you catch her before she could reach the place of offering? Didn't I warn you from the beginning?" The young husband would not give up. He repeatedly begged the grand old man to give him one more chance. The grand old man saw his earnest longing for his beloved, so he told him to repeat the same procedure once more.
Moved by his persistence, the grand old man granted his wish. The young husband repeated the ritual, offering the libation and scattering the rice. The procession of the dead passed by, their voices echoing, "The living are nearby." And then he saw his wife, the last in line, carrying a basket and her eyes filled with tears. She also shouted, "Smells like the living are around." The moment she crossed the place of offering, he jumped in and embraced her. He took her to the grand old man and said, "Grandpa, today I got her. I have brought my wife." The grand old man replied, "If you had obeyed me, you could have got her even earlier." And they slept in the house of the grand old man. Even though they slept together using only one blanket, they were divided by a plank in between. The dead and the living should not rub skins together. He took her home and said, "Aunt, uncle, I have brought back my wife." They could not believe their ears, and so they said, "Is it possible that the dead should rise? How can the living get hold of the dead? It's a complete lie. It's a lie." When they saw her, everyone in the village and neighborhood were really surprised. It was an unbelievable and mysterious event. Something like that had never happened before. The young couple gave food and drink to everyone in the village, and they lived happily ever after with lots of children, both boys and girls.